Okay, so I have this idea that I'm gonna play this mix because obviously this dude can take everybody's stuff, play it, and keep a video up. And I don't want to upset the YouTube gods. So we're going to play this mix. I got some friends who are coming through today. I know that Christmas can be hard to let go of. It was actually one of my favorite holidays, but when I really started getting into the word and stuff, even as a Christian, I didn't really celebrate Christmas at all. You know, it was like, oh, Christmas for the unbelievers. It's the only time I didn't go to church. It was the only time, it was like, whatever. So we're going to try to play this mix. Hopefully YouTube don't warn me, don't get me. But I got a few friends who need the link. So yeah, chill. This is a slow down version of this song, and I love it. And I can't find a slow down version anywhere but here. So enjoy. Oh yeah, I'm tired today. Hey, what went wrong? Speak when you come in. I can't see nothing. Okay, we're here, Abishai. We just chilling. Kyle, stop arguing. Get up on here, boy. Kyle over there arguing with people. Don't y'all know it's Christmas?
Escape Tracks Radio. Take me on a trip to the moon. Baby, we should get away soon. I just gotta live for a while. I've been feeling so stressed out. Just try to run through. I ain't got a time on me, what I'm trying to do. Maybe if I look the other way, everything would turn out to be okay. Yeah.
My head hurt. Too much fun.
I just wanna run away from my troubles. Yeah, from my troubles. Yeah, I just wanna run. I just wanna run away. I just wanna run away from my troubles. Yeah, from my troubles. Now the car I'm driving just broke down. I'll be walking for a while. Gotta get my paper up. Baby, I'll just Uber everywhere. Baby, I'll just Uber everywhere. Yeah, my phone is ringing for the bills. Credit going down the hill. When I take this phone out, I'm gonna be dead for 20 years. Yeah, I'm gonna be dead for 20 years. Oh, that's why I just wanna run away. I just wanna run away. I just wanna run away. Run away from my troubles. Yeah, from my troubles. Yeah, I just wanna run away. I just wanna run away. I just wanna run away from my troubles. From my troubles. Yeah. Yeah. Escape Tracks Radio. Is it like that, girl?
Sorry, guys.
Is it like that, girl? Is it like that, girl? Is it like that, girl? First I must. Is it like that, girl? Oh, no. Is it like that, girl? Is it like that, girl? Is it like that, girl? First I must.
Yeah. Waiting for people to come. Like, I need y'all to come on. Shout out to Shanti, aka Shanti Doc, who came out on last night. We were tripping, having some fun.
Escape Tracks Radio.
I don't even know what to call you anymore. It's like I don't know you have for me more. Should I decide to say move on? Yeah. If I could replace it, I would replace it.
Shalom, shalom.
From the start, I didn't need to break your heart. Only time knows every little thing you look at.
So, anywho, we're here supporting you. Need something to do? You take your mind off. Need to have an excuse not to go eat with your family. Hang out with your girl. When they ask you why you're not participating, say you don't play those reindeer games. You chilling.
Yeah. Switching up the program. I know we both old friends. All she wanna do is hold hands, but I ain't really with that romance.
Ooh, next song. Let's go back to the first song. I really like it. Hopefully Katrina can join us so we can have some good singing on here. I love this song. Like, where have I been? Oh man, they're about to do it. Where was I when this song came out? Ooh, Juve morning. I have my sister's dog with me. She's a big lug. All of our dogs have West Indian names. We had a dog when I grew up named Soka. And then my daughter, she's my daughter.
Escape Tracks Radio.
My puppy's name is Trini. And then we had Calypso, rest his soul. He passed away. And then this dog wandered on my sister's doorstep shortly after Calypso died. And my sister took her in, and her name is Juve. Like Juve morning. You know, that's when you put the mud and the clay on you. So it's a theme. And we had Brody in Brooklyn. They didn't have the names. Tansy kind of broke the tradition, but that's okay. You know, she loves Soka. So if you're trying to get in, I had some people ask for the link. If you're trying to get in, click that link. It should bring you right in. If you have Hangouts, download it. So click the link and you can get in. I had a few people coming.
Baby, I'm just Uber everywhere. Baby, I'm just Uber everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, my phone is ringing for the bills. Credit going down the hill. When I take this loan out, I'm gonna be dead for 20 years. Yeah, I'm gonna be
Margie, get your butt up in here.
that's why I just wanna run away. I just wanna run away. I just wanna run away. Run away from my troubles. Yeah. From my troubles. Yeah. I just wanna run away.
Okay. Okay, they say my link isn't working. Hold on. Try again. Abishai's coming on. Try that. Try that, Abishai. Hopefully it works. Hey. Hopefully I can write off this brother's license because he obviously gets to play all the songs he wants to on YouTube.
Easy like that, girl. Easy like that, girl. First I must easy like that, girl.
Abishai's trying to get on. I don't know what's wrong with my link.
Easy like that, girl. Easy like that, girl. First I must easy like that, girl. Easy like that, girl. Escape Tracks Radio.
I don't even know what to call you anymore. It's like I don't know you have for me more. Should I decide to say one more? Yeah. If I could replace it,
What happened?
replace it. I love you from the start.
I clicked on it and it worked. Okay.
Everything you ever did, cause what you don't know.
Oh man. Abishai, you have the song on email? Oh man, I'm trying. Alright. I just sent an invitation.
All right, awesome.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm totally here.
Okay. I have this theory that this guy is playing all this music and his stuff isn't shut down, so I'm riding off of his good fortune. Let's say that.
Okay.
What's up, Abishai? What you doing today?
Hey man, yeah, I'm kicking over here. Driving.
Okay, yeah, you're on here too.
Yeah. I'm alright. I'm loud and belligerent.
I had too much wine last night up with my husband.
You celebrating Christmas Eve?
What?
I said you were celebrating Christmas Eve.
No, I'm celebrating freedom.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
I'm childless right now. I miss my baby, but we'll see. She coming back. When is she coming back? We're going down there to Houston on Sunday. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but now I can just pick up and go. I'm like, what is this about?
I'll turn my video off so no one else is sharing their video. I'll be. Give me one second.
Why you up there arguing?
Cause it was funny, man. Like you people crazy.
I would put my video on, but my hair looked crazy. So
it's all good.
people ready to talk. They be like, look at her. She look like a crazy woman. Oh.
It's all good.
What's up, outside? You know, you didn't tag nobody that second video. I was like, he didn't, because me and LeBron didn't know how to act. He didn't tag nobody.
Yesterday?
Huh?
You talking about yesterday?
No, I'm talking. Abishai's on here with me as well. And you know, me and LeBron acted a fool on his and the part 2, he didn't tag nobody. He was like, I ain't tagging none of y'all.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I totally did not do that part 2. I totally slept through the rest of the day.
Oh, okay. No, you had up a video and it said part 2, and I was like, man, Abishai said we can't come.
oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I was like, man, he didn't invite nobody. You tagged everybody in the first one, but the second one you were like, I just get this out the way. I'm so sorry, brother, for acting the fool on there. That boy, he gets to me. He gets underneath my skin. We have a blow up about. I think it's like time. Like every 2 months, we end up fighting.
Nah, you're good. You're good. Like I said, I know. I have faith that eventually you guys will come around because I know the both of you guys kind of personally. So y'all both chill. It's just whatever's going on, y'all need to squash it, and then everything should be chill. Because y'all both good people.
I don't have the problem, Abishai. He comes at me all the time, no matter where I'm at. I don't have a problem with him. He can exist. He can coexist, you know. But every time I'm anywhere and he's there, he's like, "Oh shit! Oh, you're the devil. You're a wicked witch." And I'm like, "Leave me alone." He's like that kid from first grade who just bothers you all the time and won't leave you alone. You're a bully. So
I'll tell you what, I'll try to have a talk with him on your behalf then and see what's going on, see what the issue is on his end.
Intercede for me because he's just being mean. Kyle, your people trying to get on here. I guess they want to get out. You ready for that?
Yeah, let them on here. I ain't got no problems with them.
What is the problem? Can you tell us what is going on there? Because they seem to be mad at you and then guard you up.
Okay, so I don't even know how you pronounce the dude's name, Refiana, whatever the guy's name is. He's a liar, and that's the problem. Like, he claims that his family has this 2,000-year-old scroll that's been passed down through their generations, and he sent me a picture. And like, I'm not dumb, so all I did was took the picture, put it in Google Images, and it came up as a Google picture. It didn't come, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
And I was like, bro, this ain't even like you lying, bro. Like, and people would believe in him. That's why I called him out on it. And so like, that's where the contention comes from. The fact that I don't like, I'm like, you can tell me something, I'm gonna go research it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, that's awesome, bro. I'm gonna be like, let me see if this really true before I even agree or disagree. And so I just looked and did a Google search, and it was like a regular Google scroll image. Like, it wasn't even like, I mean, it wasn't even hard to find. You just put it in Google Images, it'll pop right up.
Oh.
And so he's mad at me because I called him out, I guess, because he didn't have an original scroll or these Bible text that he's claiming until he has. And he's like, he's an older person, and I just like, I felt like he felt like I disrespected him in calling him out. And so now him and his minions are upset with me because I called him out for being a liar and a deceiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to say you're a Hebrew Israelite. What's another thing to say I got the original scrolls in my possession? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, you know, it's so weird because I did that fact, fiction, or truth with both of you, and you both are on here. So, I mean, did y'all have a chance to listen to each other at all? Very different views.
I tried listening to your video, but there's like something going on in the background on your video, but I got through like a good portion of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah, well, we it went on for a minute. Yeah, I had these headphones and they weren't working right. So now I don't have any headphones, but you know, it is what it is. Kaya, were you able to listen to Abishai's video?
Honestly, I have not. I mean, if you want to give me like a brief synopsis of it, I'd be more than happy to. I, I guess my position would be in a, I wouldn't say extreme, but like a out of the box Hebrew Israelite perspective. You know, I use the term very, very loosely. But like, if you have like are you affiliated with any type of camp or doctrine or group or anything? Because that would tell me a lot about what you believe in. You know.
I am not affiliated with anybody, and I'm gonna almost stand on the line of saying all these camps hate me.
All right, cool. We in the same boat then, bro.
Yeah. Well, Abishai is like a Christian Israelite, so like he follows Christ, and agrees with the history of us being Israelites. Yeah. Right?
I understand that. I mean, you know, I'm not saying I understand why people have that position. I don't personally subscribe to that position. But I mean, I don't hate anybody that does. I just, you know, want people to understand that, you know, it's things that we have to do here on earth, you know what I'm saying, that are outside of, you know, divine intervention that we have to do in order to restore, you know, Torah and restore ourselves as a nation. And so a lot of people, they use Yeshua or Yahweh, they use him as a scapegoat. And that's my issue. Is that they don't want to find this unity and do anything physically themselves, and they look at this messianic prophecy as a way to not do anything themselves and say, well, Christ is coming back, or Messiah is coming back. But Deuteronomy 30 says something totally different. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do see what you're saying, and I would actually agree with you on that point and that tenet, and that's kind of where I stand at, because even though I say I'm a Christian Israelite, I don't agree with the Protestants either. And once again, I'm almost going to say the Protestants hate me as well, because I pretty much tell them, like, yo, you're not really following Christ. Like, you're professing his name, and that's about all you're doing, because he told you to do stuff. Like, that's one thing that we don't understand about Christ. Like, yeah, the gospel tells you, like, we're saved by faith through grace and all that stuff. But then at the same time, Christ, like, equates obedience with being faithful. He says, you know, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and you don't do the things that I say? So when you look at the apostles and everything that they were doing, they were gathering the people together as one nation, just like it says, gather yourselves together, all nation not desired, before the day of the Lord go forth, or the decree of the Lord go forth, you know? So it's not about being lazy at all inside the gospel if you're following Christ, because he gave us instructions, he gave us commandments that we're supposed to be following. It's just, like you said, people use him as an excuse, and it's sad.
Oh man, Kyle, that's Jeremiah. Jeremiah. I didn't know that was Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's Jeremiah Judah.
I was like, who is Nicole? Man, she mad.
Yeah, he got kicked off, and I think he's banned until next year on Facebook. So he's using his wife's page.
Oh my God, they can ban you for a whole year. Well, I guess next year is.
It's at the week, but yeah. It seemed like a long time. I say a year, but I think they banned or something like that.
Oh, that's terrible. He's like, Sheik, it's me. I'm using my wife's page. I'm like, oh, come on live then. I don't know why he don't come on.
Because he's scared. He's running. He don't want to hear this truth.
I thought y'all was cool.
We are cool. I mean, let me rephrase it. We were cool until, okay, so, you know, he had the debate with Garfield, right, on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And I told him prior to the debate that, hey, bro, like, this is not a good idea for you because she's going to destroy you. And I'm going to tell you why he's going to destroy you, because I'm going to be a friend to you to help you take this conversation in a way where you're not going to win, but you may be able to survive. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not on the same level of scholarship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to see and say Garfield is a high and mighty scholar. You know what I'm saying? He's a sharp brother. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I'm saying that the stuff that Jeremiah is researching is religious information, and what Garfield looks up, he looks up historical information, and those two are not they're not synonymous. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You look at the time period of Israel, you can look at the religious text, and then you can look at the actual historical evidences and texts that are made by other people, and they tell you a different narrative. And a lot of those narratives, they may be similar. Some things may fit, but But if you only looking from it from a religious point of view, then you're gonna miss a lot of what's going on in that entire environment. And that's my thing. I look at it from both. I see that I look in the scroll, I look in the gospels, I see what's going on, but then I actually look in the outside resources to see why it was going on. And it makes more sense that way. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't do it. He only goes with the religious mindset. And so like if you have a debate with a person who doesn't believe in the religion that you believe in, they only want to go with the actual facts. It's going to be a difficult situation for you to win because you're not going to be able to bring them into your text and your mindset because you're not going into theirs. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I told him he was going to be I actually called him and we talked and it's not like I did this behind his back. I actually had a conversation with him and like look, but this is how you need to win this. You got to go this angle. This is how you do this. And I didn't want him to debate him because it's going to make the Hebrews look bad in general because Garfield gets to destroy another Hebrew who's super religious, not historically inclined.
Yeah, he will put you to the test. Anything you believe, he's gonna put you to the test.
Mm-hmm.
Hey y'all, there's an event going on in Houston. Are y'all going?
The event. Yeah, I know exactly what event you're talking about. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm probably not gonna make that one.
What event are you talking about?
Mine is working with a ministry down in Houston, and I think they're gonna have. Well, they're still looking for speakers. So I don't know what the topics are gonna be, but they're gonna. I know one of the topics is the calendar. I'll be talking about that. I think it's just like a thing for unity. So I don't know. I will attend because I'm in Dallas. So, Houston's not far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna support.
What days are going to be on?
He said second weekend in February.
Okay.
Yeah. So mark your calendars. I think that's good that somebody's trying to have some type of in-gathering, to talk about things. Because this community doesn't really even feel like a community at times. So,
Nah, it's totally like a bunch of cults or gangs or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
You can nail on here with that one.
Yep. Oh man, yeah, my head hurts. I need some Tylenol or something. Goodness gracious, I didn't really feel that tipsy or anything last night. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I need to drink some water.
I would definitely suggest water.
Yeah.
Either that or get some Pediasure or Pedialyte. What's it called? The stuff for babies.
Mm-hmm. See, I missed it last night. Me and Ashanti copyrighted my my last day of teaching ritual, which is Tennessee and hot wings. Yeah, it was bomb. Yeah, we copyrighted that. She was like, right now, poor man's copy. So what are y'all doing for the rest of the day?
Me personally, I'm just gonna be chilling and whatnot. Like I told you, I don't even celebrate this day. I consider all days holy, but people do their thing, and I'm gonna let my family do their thing, and I'm just gonna chill like a normal day.
Is your family here? You were raised here, right?
I was raised here, yeah. Born in Tennessee, but raised here, and a good portion of my family's here, but most of them are back in Tennessee.
Oh, do they be like, where you at? How come you ain't at the table?
Yeah, a lot of times, like, they know that I'm very vocal about my beliefs. They know where I stand with it. I don't know. Sometimes they make it a scene, and then sometimes they just let it slide. It depends how they're feeling that day.
Did y'all see the Boondock video I put up? And the guy was like, Jesus wasn't born in December 25th, and he probably hates you for celebrating Christmas. Oh my God, it was so funny. I was like, yeah, nobody's trying to hear that nowadays. But whatever.
Nah, not at all. And I was actually I saw somebody comment on a brother's post and whatnot, and he was like quoting from a so-called church father and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And the church father said, we should celebrate the Messiah's birthday on December 25th of whatever day it lands on or whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's quoting this so-called church further that's from like was like living in like 156 AD or something like that. I can't remember his name right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then I told him, I was like, bro, you do realize that the word deca means 10, right? So what this guy would have been saying, even if he did do the right calculation, because I had heard that quote before, and I had heard that he miscalculated the Messiah's birth.
Mm-hmm.
But even if he's correct, what he's saying is that the Messiah was born on the 25th day of the 10th month, because deca means 10.
That's right.
And that's according to the Julian calendar, because now we're under the Gregorian calendar that came around in like 1582. So no.
Yeah. Look at you. You killing people's Christmas. Look at you.
The Grinch.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm a factual man. I just like to drop facts, and then whatever it stands, it stands. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but this is what it is. You know, if you want to celebrate something, just be honest and say, I'm doing this because I want to. Like, you ain't got to, I don't know, misconstrue history and stuff to make up a reason for you to do something. Just say, I'm doing it because I want to, and leave it as is.
Right. Absolutely.
And that last sentence you said, that's how I feel too. Like, if you like, and I'm not anti-Hebrew Israelite, you know what I'm saying? But I have a different stance than the majority of people. I don't believe that there's actually a lineage to being a Hebrew Israelite. I think it's a spiritual term based on a theocracy. And so, if you want to say you're a Hebrew Israelite, that's one thing. But when you make a radical claim that, hey, I can prove I'm from this place, that's something different. That's what I have an issue with, you know, because like it's like anything else. Like to be a Muslim, you can be a Muslim and be from anywhere, but you can still be a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? To be a Hebrew, you can live in a nation. You can be from any area, any surrounding like I mean, not the type or a place of residence, you know. And when people make these ridiculous claims that they are something, I know for a fact because I just think it's outlandish, you know. That's just me personally, but that's where I lose people at. They don't like that.
Me personally, I do believe there is a lineage, but I do see what you're saying. I believe like there's some justification inside the Bible to why we would be like the lineage of these people and whatnot. But at the same time, like there's people running around talking about how we have genetic evidence, this and all that. And I'm like, honestly, bro, it's really a shot in the dark.
Yeah. Like they doing too much, really. We believe the Bible, and then we came out a mixed multitude. So that messes up genetics right there. I don't even know why one would even bring up genetics, because even the guy who brought the guy who found the air quotes Jewish gene said it's not a Jewish gene. He was like, there's just a common ancestor, and they don't know who it is. But you kind of know based off of history who that could be, especially when you're using Ashkenazi Jews who are from Germany as a marker, you know? So anyway, I feel like, why are we talking about genetics right now? And for anybody, and that's what I didn't like, what I heard Kyle on that debate was like, oh, you got to show me genetic proof. So you really think them people up there are Jews? You know, like you really think that the marker that they're using is correct and accurate?
No, let me because I actually know that brother personally. He's actually a really good friend of mine on Kung Fu. He actually used to live here in Atlanta, Georgia, and he was a subscribing Hebrew Israelite, you know what I'm saying, with us. And his position is that we're making these ridiculous claims with nothing to back it by. And he's right, and for 99% of the stuff, you know what I'm saying? And he has a similar position to what I have, that people did migrate from Northeast Africa. Yes, people did do that. People did settle in West Africa, and really the entire through the Bantu expansion and all these type of areas, they settled in like the Sub-Saharan Africa, West Coast of Africa. He doesn't deny any of this stuff. What his denial is the fact that you're from the tribe of Judah, but no one in West Africa claims to be from the tribe of Judah. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you say, you make this bold claim that the word Ouida, which is a French, and some people say, and they have a Portuguese and also a Yoruba rendition of it, which is Ouida, Judah, Ouida. You know what I'm saying? That actually means Judah. It does not mean that. It means servants or slaves. You know, and like when people are they're looking at things, they're grasping onto like
No. They don't believe that Ouida means Judah. They're looking at the Bowen map and seeing what is called Ouida now was called Kingdom of Judah at some point, and even in the revised map, because they updated it, it's still called that. So that's I don't think that they're saying that Ouida means Judah. It's just that
no,
the name of
maybe I misspoke. They're saying that because it says Ouida there, that this is the place where the Jews live, which is false.
no on the map, the guy who did all the like where you trade and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
On the map, it says it says K of Judah. So they're not thinking. So it's not like saying that Ouida means Judah, and they just couldn't say it. Like some people do say that, but it's like really on the map.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
Oh.
And what I'm saying is that word originally was there. It was Ouida. Then it's also called Yoida, which is the Yoruba term for it, because this is part of the Oyo dynasty. It depends on what perspective you're looking at as far as how it's being pronounced. But those words, what I'm saying is those words mean servant or slave. If you look at the entire area, you have the Gold Coast, you have the Ivory Coast, you have the Slave Coast, which is called the Kingdom of Ouida on that map, because this is the kingdom they got the slaves from. This is the kingdom they got the gold from. This is the kingdom they got the ivory from. Like, it tells you that. But we're making this assertion based on something that we feel. We're making emotionally based decisions on historical information, and that's disingenuous.
Well, I mean, they name it on the map. They say Judah, and it says Judah, Ouida, this and that. It does say that. So I don't think it's an assertion. It's what they wrote down. And the Portuguese did put slaves. They put slaves on the west coast of Africa, and I put that where they put them at. It's right off the slave coast. It's right there, San Tome. So I mean, like, we didn't put that on the map. They did.
I understand that. What I'm saying, I think you're missing it. Don't look at what this means to you in English. Look at what it actually says in the language.
Kyle, you went out.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Now, what I'm saying is, don't look with your emotional attachment. And I'm not saying that because you always say you saying it because I'm a girl. No, it's not because because I used to do the same thing too. I used to look at things, and my spirituality may be interpreted differently than what it actually is. What I'm saying is, look at what the people who name this area, what that word means in their actual language. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like Nigeria was not named by the people of Nigeria. It was called Nagaland, you know what I'm saying? Or Niger, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like someone else named this place Nigeria. And you gotta look at what this language, what that word means in the place, in the language of the people who named it means, so you can get the actual meaning of it. And that's what we're not doing. We're looking at an English translation or English naming of something and making a connection based on our connection to a spiritual system rather than actual, being genuine in our research.
Okay.
So in response to that, I'm going to say you're both right. Because I know what you're talking about with this whole Ouida thing and whatnot, and we have to understand what it actually meant in the original language that it was scribed in, and then what the people around that area said that name meant. But at the same time, the sister is right. There is a certain map. Once again, that probably has to be going into the language, but there is a certain map where in small print along that area, it does say K. of Judah, which would be Kingdom of Judah. Now, whether or not that Judah is relevant to the Ouida, it's possible, but to say that definitively, once again, would be another assertion. But to also say that it means Judah, like the Judah we're talking about, would also be an assertion. So that same standard would apply on both sides. And that's actually the issue that I have with the Hebrew Israelite community, the Kemetic community, the conscious community, the New Agers. Everybody's doing this thing where they'll take information and they'll take this over there that kind of seems like it's the same thing, and they'll slap it together and say it is the same thing. And it's like, come on, bro, like sit down, like think about what you're saying, you know. There's just, I think it's called like homophones or something like that. Well, a word will sound like this in one language and it'll sound like that in another language. Like, for instance, they'll say atom and then atom. See, atom was just the first atom, and it's like, bro, chill out. Like,
yeah, I hate that, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're right. What are y'all talking about? But I will say this though. But the history backs. I mean, with the map, it is an assertion to say, oh, they're talking about Judah, you know, like Jews. But the history backs it up because that is exactly where they put the Jews when they exiled them from Portugal. So,
you're talking about. I think it was 12 people though.
It wasn't 12 people. They took all these kids and they put them in San Tome, and then they said that they all got eaten by alligators. But when they sent a bishop there to spread Christianity around, he came back because it was too Jewish. It was more than 12. They took all their kids.
I've never heard that it was a lot of people. I heard that it was a small amount of people, and the Jews that they took, that they quote unquote had, these people were part of the Moorish Empire. They helped to found this place, and they brought them back as translators so they can communicate to the local people there. That's just the story that I got from it, and it was like, I think it was 12 or 13 people.
I think it's like 1,000 that they said went, but they said that they all, let me look it up, said that they all got eaten by alligators, and I was like, get out of here. Anyway. So Jeremiah, I guess, is not coming up on here. They're still talking to you, Kyle.
Yeah, I ignore them all the time.
Yeah.
He'll go on for a good 2 hours, and he'll realize that maybe they ain't responding, so he'll stop eventually.
Jeremiah be hyped. Is he drinking Red Bull? It sounds like he on Red Bull like all the time.
It ain't Red Bull. It may be mixed with some Red Bull. It ain't Red Bull.
Okay, it says King Manuel I of Portugal exiled about 2,000 Jewish children under the age of 10 to San Tome and Principe around 1500. Most died, right? But in the early 17th century, the local bishop noted but discussed that there were still Jewish observances on the island and returned to Portugal because of his frustration with them. So
it's just a matter of different, not dialect, but different interpretations of that. So I say that it was a very, very small amount. You say that it was 2,000, but then most of them died. So hey, I don't know. But it wasn't a lot. It wasn't enough to start an entire kingdom. We're gonna say that, and we're gonna leave it at that. Would you agree?
I would say it wasn't enough to start an entire kingdom, but it would give way to why they would name that area that, it gives a reason,
as like a kind of like a side note, I guess, but on the same topic, the reason personally why I would suggest, that we are the children of Israel and stuff like that, and it is like a biblical, or not biblical, but a genetic lineage that's going, back. First off, we know that the Israelites, they actually did exist. There's plenty of historical evidence from like the Romans, the Greeks, the Moabites. They have the Moabite still, and then they have the Merneptah still from Egypt and all this stuff. So there's plenty of documentation saying that these were a real people. So to count them off as being like mythological and only written inside this book, that's fallacious.
Yeah.
But then Pat, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So past that, the areas that are described that the people are going to come back from, I'm going to read this real quick. It says Isaiah 11:11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand a second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathros, from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So these areas that he's listing inside of here, for instance, Egypt and Pathros, that's northern and southern Egypt. You know, those two dynasties of Egypt, those two areas. But then he goes on to say um, from Assyria and from Kush, Kush being Ethiopia, as well as Sudan, which Sudan would also be a part of that Pathros area. So we have Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, which would also include Eritrea. You know, this is our people, you know, and then as well as it says Assyria, Elam, Shinar, and Hamath. This would be the areas over there with Iraq, Iran, and all those different areas over there on that side. And you're asking, you know, where's our people over there? When you look at our people over there, there's actually like Negroid, Afro-Iranians, Afro-Iraqis, and stuff over there that have been for centuries been called slaves, and they still to this day, even though they've been freed from the slavery, had the connotation of being a slave. The same way over here we're called niggers. They're called the same thing over there, you know, just in their language. So this is like, to me, it's like overwhelmingly definitive. And then in Zephaniah 10 or 3 and 10, it says, "From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia shall my dispersed come." You know, I'm paraphrasing that.
That's
So
why I'm mad. Wait, hold on. Garfield, the Bible doesn't even mention West Africa. I was like, what is he talking about? Zephaniah 3 and 10, beyond the rivers of Cush. And when you look it up, it even denotes a direction, which is west. But they have this, I'm sorry, I'm on this ice. Hold on. They have this note. And they say the Upper Nile region. How could that be when the word beyond itself in a Hebrew is actually telling you what direction they're talking about? So yeah, but Zephaniah 3:10 through 12 tells you that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's totally on point. It's just like, how can you deny, like, this is the people? Like, when you look over into Egypt and whatnot, you have the Arabian people that are there, but we know they came over during the Islamic Caliphate and all that during the time of Muhammad. So we know they're not native to the land. So who's native to Egypt? You know, it'd be like these black people over there. And then, of course, you have the actual Egyptians, you know, Mitzrayim. But then also you look down into like Ethiopia and Eritrea and all that, you know, like these so-called Ashkenazi Jews and all of them, you don't find them there. And you're not going to find them in Assyria. You're not going to find them, you're not going to find them in Iraq, Iran, and all that. You're going to find our people that look like us. And then, of course, like you said, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. And then when you actually think about it, it's like, where did this custom in Africa come from of us being Jews? Because there's multiple colonies inside of Africa where these people say, we're Jews and we've been Jews for the longest. You have like Beta Israel. You have the people, the Igbo people over there in West Africa saying this. Like, they're not saying like we learned Judaism. They're saying we've been Jews. Mm-hmm. This is our history.
But I guess that's my major issue that I have when it comes to this, because like, I guess we forget that Israel was a theocracy. That's the main thing that people are forgetting about this whole thing. A theocracy is a governmental system based on theology. And so you have these different tribes. These different tribes are like states in America. So you have like Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. People live in these things. They were not all family. You know what I'm saying? They were not blood related. They were from mixed tribes. They were from mixed ethnicities. They were from all over. And like the Torah tells us that specifically, it's very, very detailed out. It actually has laws, people who are just visiting, who not plan on staying there. You know what I'm saying? And so like, it's just like America. If we were to, let's say, leave America today, our families have American origins, but we would not call ourselves Americans any longer once we leave this place. This is why you would discontinue from your heritage, because you no longer are that, because it's a theocracy. It's not a lineage. And so once you find your new name, now what we do is we go to these tribes there in West and Central Africa and look in their oral tradition, their history, their migration history. We do some DNA comparison, but DNA is not really DNA can't be proven to a spiritual term. You see what I'm saying? But it helps us trace the lineage in their migration. And so like we're doing this digging and this stuff. And my issue is that the people who we find in West Africa as a whole, they did not migrate in 70 AD. They came in around from 6 and 700. This is when they started their journey after the Assyrian captivity. And there was not a term, they would not have referred to themselves as being Jews because that term wasn't even a relevant term when they left. They didn't practice Judaism because that wasn't something that was even created until about 200 AD. Well, 300 AD, I'll probably say. And so it's a marker for us. Let's just know that there has been outside influences by Christians or even the Abrahamic faith, even dealing with Islam, that has implanted the information inside their mind to kind of come to sway their belief system. And this is obvious when you look at people they do a lot of rabbinical stuff, and especially the Igbo, they're really, really high into this rabbinical priesthood. But they wouldn't have known about it if they're the tribe of Gad. You see what I'm saying? Because Gad already left before this was even established. They wouldn't have been into a system of monotheism because when they left as henotheistic people. But then we actually look at the people who are there that are Igbo who keep their practices. They practice henotheism. You look at the Yoruba people, they practice henotheism. You look at the people who are the Gadombe, the Ashanti, they all are henotheistic until they come in contact with somebody who is a Jewish person trying to convert them. And now they're making a shift and saying that we no longer are descendants of Gad or Igbo, we're Jews. And that's when those outside influences have tainted the original practices of these people and tainted our worldview because they're being definitely influenced by people. And this happened around the
colonizers. Colonizers.
Exactly. You've been colonized out of your original thought. And so that's my whole thing. And I do believe that we are Israel, quote unquote. We are the original people that were in the land of Israel. But I do not believe that any people there claim to be these things because it didn't matter to them. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Real quick, shout out to my father. Daddy, I do not celebrate Christmas. Take me off your list. There are 12 of us, so, you know.
They got that mass text message going.
Now he personalizes them and everything. It puts our names and stuff. I'm sure it's one of my brothers just, sending out, but it's like, you don't have to, Daddy. And yes, I'm 37 years old. I call my father Daddy, and I don't care. All right. What was I gonna say? I want to talk about something, but I forgot. Larry's supposed to be on here. Larry was on the argument league defending the Yahshua is Yah with Gideon. Gideon won that debate. And tonight, Yehukanan will be debating LaRon. Speaking of that, he will be debating LaRon. And I think the debate topic is transatlantic slave trade in the Bible. So we'll see.
See that right there? That could go either way. Because honestly, this is something that Kyle is probably going to agree with. How people relate the transatlantic slave trade to being Deuteronomy 28 and 68, that's completely false. If you go and look in the records, they'll tell you that even though people complain about it, they say, can't you just walk to Egypt? They'll tell you that the Jews were actually shipped during 70 AD and all that. They were actually shipped to Egypt on boats and taken into captivity and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's what it's talking about. It's like historical records.
He's not going to go that route. He's not going to do the Deuteronomy piece. But here's the thing, that the curses and the blessings of Deuteronomy was perpetual. That wasn't like a one-time thing. It's like every time you do this is what's going to happen to you. And I don't really believe in dual prophecies unless it is a forever stamp on it. But I do understand what you're saying. That did happen. And so people were like, look, fulfilled, but that wasn't just a fulfillment thing. It was anytime you do, this is the consequence. It's a reward and consequence system, Can
I answer that right quick?
Mm-hmm.
And so I fully agree with you, brother. I'm 100% there. My perspective on that is this. So when it says we're going to go back from captivity on a ship, it definitely did happen to the Southern Kingdom when they were shipped to Egypt, like the brother was just bringing out. But it also had to happen to the northern tribes who were in West Africa, and they got brought to spiritual Egypt as well, which is the Americas. So I think it was a total fulfillment of that. Because now you can't say that no, certain tribes were just brought. Every tribe was brought. Not everybody wasn't brought, but every tribe had some type of involvement in that slavery, in that prophecy. And it actually, for me, it makes it more real than just having just a certain tribe that went on slave ships to America.
Yeah.
Interesting. So just real quick, as a get a basis here. You're saying the people on the west coast of Africa were the Northern Kingdom Israelites. That's your stance?
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
That's who they say they are. So, I believe it for sure. So what happened to the Southern Kingdom? But I mean, like, okay, if they're the Northern Kingdom, then what happened to the Southern Kingdom?
He literally just named out where they are because the scripture tells you where they're going to be at. Pathros and Cush. These are the people who are the descendants of King Solomon and Sheba, and these people. These are these people descendants now in this area. They claim to be the tribe of Judah. It's on their flag. It's like we just don't believe them. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. We just don't believe them because we feel that we're Judah, and that's the whole, like I was talking about yesterday. It's the idea of superiority that when we read these texts, we have to put ourselves in the highest position. We have to be, we're Judah because I don't know, we're in America. I don't know, but even though it makes no sense whatsoever, we have nothing historically prove that. We can historically prove that Judah got taken into Africa on ships. They got taken into Egypt, and then from Egypt they migrated down. We can historically prove that. We can historically prove that and this is through the keep letting guess that Solomon's lineage is definitely in Ethiopia. He's a Judite, right? We can, and then they had multiple kids, and we can historically prove that outside of the Bible and in the Bible. But for us, we had this idea of superiority that we're Americans, and we have this American sensationalism and this position that we are somehow superior to everybody else because we're doing our job of waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel. But they already knew that.
I think the reason why people conclude that we are Judah is because the transatlantic slave trade and the Arab slave trade put us literally all throughout the world, and I think, I don't know if the northern isn't Judah, the ones that's supposed to be all throughout the world everywhere you go. So I think that's where that's coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I get what
from my understanding, I had the same place. Judah was the one that's actually supposed to be scattered to the four corners of the earth, and then the northern kingdom of Israel was supposed to be, in these places that I named, and they would still be there from the Assyrian captivity. A portion of them, and then some of them would have gone to other places. Now it's interesting because I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like Haile Selassie and his family and whatnot. How they claim that they're descendants of King Solomon through Sheba. But there's actually potential information that says that Sheba, like the Sheba from the Queen Sheba, actually came over from Papua New Guinea and that area over there, because when you look into like history and stuff like that and like areas, there's something over there called the Solomon Sea and then called the Solomon Islands and whatnot. And the understanding is, this is where Solomon went to get all his gold and all his riches and whatnot. And when he went over there, this is how the Queen of Sheba heard about him. And when you go over there, you see those people over there, Papua New Guinea and stuff like that. Once again, they're Negroes. So if there actually was like a relation between Solomon and Sheba, and then she went back pregnant with her child and whatnot and bore children, it'd be over there. And the interesting thing about that is the people over in Papua New Guinea, they actually think they're Israelites too.
Yeah, I seen a video of that when they were all outside. I think they were sending us the Shema, I believe.
Yep, sure were.
Yep. I mean, to me, I don't turn down information. Like that could be true as well. Like, I don't turn it down because it's very, very plausible, And so, like, and we gotta have a great understanding of something, that borders and lands didn't exist today as they existed then, and that actually, like, what you're saying could be very well true, but it could very well be true on both perspectives because we didn't make these land borders. You know what I'm saying? And so when we say a person is from the land of Ethiopia, it could be any of that. You know what I'm saying? It could be like if I say I'm from West Africa, I could be from Yoruba land. Well, Yoruba land is in Nigeria and is in Ghana and is in Benin. So like we have to understand that people we're interpreting history when we're using European standards to do so. And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing. I'm saying that as a whole, that's when we look at history, we're looking at it through the European lenses and the European borders. So like all of that can be true. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. And then just to support that, I look at like ancient maps and stuff like that. And when you look at like Ethiopia, like you said, on like the older maps, Ethiopia was pretty much almost all of Africa. Like, Ethiopia was huge.
Yes.
Yep.
Fully agree.
Y'all want to hear my weird dream? Oh God. Okay, so I had this dream a long time ago, and it scared the daylights out of me. Like that's why I haven't forgotten it. The devil was like in this room, right? And I was like, oh no, it's the devil. Let me get out of here, right? But I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out the room. And ironically, and like I don't hate white people, but the devil's always a white man with black hair in my dreams. And he was like, where are you trying to go? And I was like, I'm trying to get out of this room. And he was like, you're going to have my baby. I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, and I started praying. And then I saw an ancient map. And it said Yoruba on it. And I was like, what? And then I just woke up. Yeah, it was scary. I was like, I don't want to have the devil's baby. Yeah. But
are you saying I'm the devil because I'm Yoruba?
Huh?
I'm just messing with you. I was making a joke, but I'm Yoruba. You said Yoruba's the devil. I was like, no.
Oh, Yoruba is not the devil. It was just like this map, and I saw it, and so like I feel like I've been on this journey. So that's why I'm gonna do my DNA, and I'm like I'm probably from there. We'll see. Right now, I'm thinking that my DNA is going to be African, European, Native. We'll see.
You kill up with that last one.
Don't be hating, okay? You and Garfield are not going to change my family's history.
I'm just being real. Just being real, sis.
Abishai, have you done your DNA?
To be honest, no, and I don't really intend to, but I do know for the most part, at least on my mother's side, like where my genes stem from and stuff like that. I definitely do have like that same genetic pattern. I'm black, white, and then I'm also Cherokee Indian. So, and I actually like know like the tribal descent.
Oh, see, Kaya's gonna tell you you're not Native.
And if you saw my grandfather and like my great grandfather, I'm definitely Native American. And then like I told you, I'm from Tennessee, like Knoxville, Tennessee, and that's Cherokee territory. So
yeah, my father's family is from Alabama, and he was born like in the backwoods, like in Bolagie, Alabama. I'm like, what? So.
I even never heard of like Bolagie. Is that what you said? Never even heard of that.
I know exactly what Bolagie is. They got what's it called? A Sonic and a CVS. That's it.
I believe it.
No Walmart. Yeah, what's the next town to Walmart?
Yeah, my grandmother, she left there, God rest her soul. She left there and she went up to Harlem. My grandmother was a hustler, boy. And she said small town life is not for her. This water really helped me. I really feel better since I drank water.
Good. Water is life. That's what you need.
Yeah. I guess Jeremiah Judah ain't gonna come up here.
Yeah, we just like talking.
You
know, life for real.
I'm still going back. Like God, he really does not like Garfield.
Well, this is the thing. Like he's in denial because they had that debate yesterday, and I mean, not yesterday. What's the day? Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, and like he's in denial that Garfield defeated him, but he did. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but Garfield destroyed him like that.
What was he debating Garfield again?
It was so many different things that they were debating. They were debating about the legitimacy of Hebrew Israelites, and if you would, like, I literally told him, I actually tried to give him counsel before this debate. I was like, look, bro, Garfield is not debating the fact that Hebrew Israelites exist. He's debating the foundation of this word that we use called Hebrew Israelite. Like that part is what he was debating. He couldn't grasp what I was telling him. And so he did this whole layout presentation, this whole debate about how we the real Hebrews. And Garfield was talking about the term itself. You know what I'm saying? And then he went to go try to prove his points about talking about a church in South Carolina. But Garfield actually is writing a book, and he was talking about that church in his book. And the church is not even in South Carolina; it's in Georgia, it's in Savannah, which is like it's right there on our border, which you can get confused. But like when you are challenged by to a formal debate, you gotta have your facts straight. You gotta know the principle of debate first and foremost. And so, like scholastically, he wasn't able to prove his point because he didn't understand the point that he was even trying to convey. So that makes sense.
Yeah, they was all over the place. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, then he was trying to tell Garfield that something is written in Hebrew, and the brother can't read Hebrew, so like you're not a person that can tell that it's written in Hebrew or not. And I can read Hebrew, and it's definitely Arabic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they don't even look alike. Like one's cursive, you know what I'm saying, curvaceous, whatever you want to call it, and one's like, yeah, it's just like you got to have the ability to debate to understand what you're debating about, and that's what. And he's in denial that he lost because he feels that it was unfair that he wasn't able to prove his point. But he was on Garfield's show, like he would talk longer. Like if I had a TV show, I want to talk the majority, and I tell you to talk for your hour portion. That's how it's gonna go. You know.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely gonna say, was it a formal debate or was it just like him on Garfield's show?
Well, actually, they were on Sotnella's show, but Sotnella allows them to come on. I think every so often they have their own broadcast, whatever. So that's what they do. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What is up with Sarnetta? I mean, like, there's been a lot of beef, and then like Israel doctrine been going at them, and then now Garfield said something that like, oh, it disturbed me. I was like, how can we even say that? Because like Mikael, they was beefing with them. Y'all need to go back and look at that video. Mikael was like, why you got Garfield on there? And then Sarnetta just went off. He was like, this nigga want me to make him famous. He started saying that drop. I ain't scared of you niggas. I ain't scared. Oh my God, what is going on here? It's just like a hot mess.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, it's like anything else. Like I look at Sarnetta's platform. I mean, because it has some good information on there sometimes, but his platform is like WWE. Or I'm old, so I say WWF. It's like wrestling.
Yeah.
It's about entertainment, and you gotta have good storylines. So their job is to build their storylines off the set, bring these people onto a platform who are deemed worthy and debate so that they can make money. And that's you gotta look at it, it's a business. That's how he survives. He gets views, he gets advertising revenue, and I mean I'm not hating on the business, but he has a great platform, he has a great idea, but it's based off of controversy. And as long as his black community is divided, he'll have a thriving community there for him. Because we say, hey, we're gonna unite, that's not in his best interest financially. You see what I'm saying? So he has to do what makes him money and makes his retirement. You know, it's like perspective, you know.
Yeah, y'all need to look at that. I don't even want to repeat what they said to me, Gael, but it was like it was just like wrong. I was like, what is going on here? And I'm not, like I don't know him personally or anything. I was just like, man, I can't even believe that was said here, and that's okay, Yeah, I don't know. And then what is all this stuff with Hassan Campbell. And I'm like, why am I getting these messages all the time? Like, I don't really, I don't know.
I'm gonna vibe with what the brother just said. All this stuff, not just on Netter's channel, the Hebrew Israelite community, like I said, the conscious community, all this stuff, all these like places and whatnot. When you really sit down and pay attention, it's either based off of controversy, because controversy attracts attention, which is why when you see like Hebrew Israelites preaching or whatnot, they find the most like contentious thing they can post, and then they put a title: "The Hebrew Israelites destroy such and such." Somebody tries to come up against blada blada. It's all about contention, because contention draws attention, and that's all they want, because they're making money off of this. That's what it really boils down to. All these people are making money off of you watching their videos.
But there's always somebody trying to come up by challenging people. And me and Kyle have experienced that recently. It's like, what is this about? I bet if I give that link right now, he will not come on.
Give it to him when he comes, because I would love to talk to him. And tell him, I said I would love to talk to him. Like, see if he'll come on today. I'm not even angry today. I was angry the other day because he like, this is the thing, right? Like, if me and you, I don't know this brother on the line to save my life. If I walk to the mall, he passed by me, I wouldn't know who he is. But, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I don't know you, and I have no issues with you. We're disagreeing on certain points, but the majority of the stuff that we're saying, we agree 100% because it's about unity and unifying melanated people. Right. Like, we're not allowing our theological beliefs to separate us as being respectful to each other, and we're not doing anything to harm one another. But what the brother did to me was disrespectful, because I have a business, I have fans, I have a brand myself. I am my brand. I'm a business owner, and so when you attack me and call me names and tag me and belittle me for 30 days on social media, which is you're my image. I have an issue with that, and then you tell me we can do whatever, just beef ain't over, we can do whatever. I'm not from suburbia, basically. I put it like that, and those are threats to me. Those are threatening things to say to a person. You know what I'm saying? You want to harm me, you want to harm my reputation, you want to take food out of my baby's mouth. Like, those things are offensive beyond measure to me, and so I got upset with him. And the words that I said, I meant all of them, but I apologize for saying them in public. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at him now because I understand his thought process, but I would love to have a dialogue with our brother so we can get, because he has issues with me. I don't have anything with him. His issue with me is that I don't accept Christ as being God. That's it. I don't think I have to be your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, me.
Right. And he was just mad at me for even talking to you in Garfield. And I was like, well, we going back and forth like lightning. And you sat in the chat, and he was well aware of that conversation and that it was going down. And he did not ask me not to have the conversation, which, sometimes we do that. I'd be like, hey, do not have that conversation. And sometimes he tell me. So it wouldn't have been a big deal if he told me not to have the conversation, but he never even said that. So I don't know. I'm going to send him the link. Let's see.
Please do.
But I called him because we have each other's number. I called him like, what's wrong? Like, because I didn't know what he was mad about. And he won't pick up the phone for me at all. I'm like, that's how you do me? Jeez,
I would really love it if that brother didn't hate me. Like, I don't hate him. I hate what he did. You know what I'm saying? I hate how immature that was, and how it was potentially damaging. I mean, I did damage control and I had to correct it, but these are certain things you don't do to people, especially if this person is, quote unquote, if you believe that this person is your brother, you have no reason to do anything like that. Like, he dogged you out, he dogged me out, he dogged out Run Shields, he dogged out Lorenzo, and like, he don't know any of us. We've never had a phone conversation. This is 100% based on our theological beliefs because we're RBG. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason, because we like black people. Like, why would you get mad at a black person for liking black people? And I can't grasp that concept.
I don't know, but I just sent him the link. Let's see if he come on. So, well, we have been trying not to. I mean, like, okay, well, we tried. You know, like you can try to kind of duck and dodge. You know, the drama, which is what I was trying to do. I was like, I'm just gonna keep it moving. You know, not a problem. And but then when you're consistently being called out, you do get to a breaking point, and it's like, man, you know, like, what is your issue? Let's do this. You know. So.
One thing I asked is they dogged you out. They had literally he had his little minions posting about you like that same energy that they use to dog you out. Use that same energy when they apologize to you publicly too. You know.
Yeah. And some dude, he made me a meme like you women need to be silent and all sorts of stuff, and took my teacher meme thing. And I was like, "Can somebody tell this fool I'm an educator by profession? I am not claiming to be a teacher over all Israel, you know." So this girl, she D Sabu, she went and told him like, "Do you know like she's a teacher like for real? She educates children." You know. So he ended up taking it down. But yeah, they was making posts about me and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't even know you fools. You know, if you want to talk to me, you're welcome to talk to me. I talk to people on my IM all the time. So I felt like all that was uncalled for. And the thing is that why would you sit there? Then he went on Lamon's page and talked stuff about me with I ain't even about to give that person no shine, but talked about me with them. And I was like, what? That's when I got mad. And I made that live. I deleted it, though, because I started cursing. I deleted it. I was like, you sitting your ass. I know. I was cursing, so it wasn't a good look for me. So I just deleted. But, I mean, I couldn't believe, like, this was happening. Because we used to be cool, so I don't know what happened. I don't know. I didn't think that we would ever. I would have never thought that we would ever be this. You know, like have issues like that. He would do that, but whatever.
What I'm going to say is what I was talking about earlier in this this discussion we were having about people not actually following Christ. You know, because the Messiah says that you know, it says in the Old Testament, you should not be a murderer. But then he goes on to say, you know, I say to you, if you hate your brother in your heart without a reason, then you're a murderer already. So that's an issue. And then he says, you know, if you have beef with your brother, before you offer your sacrifice, which now our sacrifices are praises and prayer. So before you even sit down to prayer, you're supposed to go and reconcile whatever beef you have with your brother, or at least try to.
Right. I told him that. I copied and pasted. But he's still not following that. He wants to make it a publicity stunt, like, come on my channel, come on the page. You know, he told me to come on the page. So we get on the page. And remember, Kaya, I told you, I was like, I'm gonna be nice to him. You know, you get more flies with honey than with vinegar, type of thing. We come on the page, nothing, silent, crickets, you know.
He ain't made it. He ain't peeped in since then.
No, he's out of town. He said, but you'll get a response from me. He said he's gonna put us in a song. He gonna make a song about us. Dude, please.
What he's trying to do? He's trying to get up the. He like I said, he's trying to sell a product. He's trying to put us in a song and sell an actual product because he has no fan base. Like I can't get down with that. Like, let's have a conversation. Call me on my cell phone. Don't record it. Let's have a conversation. You know, we can go live or delete it when we get done if that's what you want to do. But just like, I think like we losing this being a man thing, and it's evident in our culture. Like back in the day, as men, you have arguments with people, but you go outside, you'll fight it out, and you wouldn't kill anybody. You wouldn't try to hurt them forever. You know what I'm saying? You would just get your point across. You know, and like what these people are doing, they're using that same mentality because they don't see value in you, and they want to totally end you. They want to put you on live and expose you and do all these type of things, screenshot you, and it's just like it'd be so much easier if you just pick up the phone, made a phone call. And let's have dialogue like actual men, like actual brothers, because you claim to be a brother, right? You know, you claim to be these things. be it to me. You know, because you don't want to out your own brother if that's really what you think that I am to you. Because otherwise, you're telling me that I'm something different by your actions. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he kind okay. Some of what I've gotten so far is like he kind of feels like you use me to get to him, and I was like, what? You know, and he uses this Faith Evans.
What?
Like, he said I Faith Evans him. I was like, what are you? What? How is this reference even like legit? What are you talking about? That was a whole different situation, dude.
Faith Evans. Right.
Yeah, so that's what he's thinking. Oh, you brought Sheek into this, and I was like, no. So that's why I put out like how we even decided to have a conversation, and then you know that I spoke to Abishai the next day, and we decided to have a conversation. So I don't know what. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I wish the best for that Brooklyn. I wish that everything that he
did you delete your live? Because you had your live up.
Yeah, I'll never keep my lives on.
Oh, okay.
I get my little, hey, if you ain't watching it while I'm talking about it, it's gone.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Maybe I should try to keep them up there a couple more days.
Well, he didn't come. Hey, Kyle.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you apologize to my friend, please?
Who's your friend?
Katrina. I think play together online. You have to be nice.
I'll be nice to Katrina, but I honestly, I don't feel like I have a reason to apologize to her. I don't feel like I did anything out the way to her.
You were just kind of short with her, but I told her that, you know, it's probably the timing, because you were upset at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on live talking about this dude who's talking about me and dogging me out for the last month, and you come on there and asking me questions defending this guy. Like, yeah, you're not gonna get a friendly, loving response because you coming on here and you don't know what's going on, trying to defend a situation that you don't know anything about. And
she wasn't defending. She was trying to ask where you stood because she did not know what was going on. But her stances do align with Maxwell. But she wasn't bringing anything about Maxwell to the table. She was trying to figure out where your stance was. So, but I told her, I was like, I think that's the wrong time, because Kyle's usually like patient. Because, you know, if you can be patient with me, you know, but he's usually patient and nice and stuff like that. It was just like a bad time. I think for both of y'all, it was just bad timing. You know.
Okay, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to laugh. I was scrolling down my Facebook page. And I saw something that humored me. A person made a post that says, in Hebrew, the word lightning means Barack. Like, Barack Obama. Trying to make a comparison to Barack Obama. That's not what that means, though. Like, Barack, it means praise. Like, where do people get this stuff from?
Honestly, that comes from like the Protestant what is it called? Conspiracy theorists and whatnot, because that was a theory running around when Barack first became president. Like, oh, Barack's the Antichrist, and this is why. Yeah.
Yeah, like women say Barack Hashem, Yahuwah, you know, that means praise. Like, retarded, man. Oh my God, I'm tripping. y'all gonna laugh at me. I done walked off my cell phone and I thought I was talking to the thing. I was on live my computer.
So, Kyle, when are you gonna move to Africa? Kyle does. He's like deuces.
Yeah, I'm trying to move as soon as I get streams of revenue established. So I'm not trying to move over there and just be a homeless person in Africa, you know. So I'm trying to have, you know, residual income. I'm trying to, you know, establish my business. Well, my business is here, so that anything that would need to be done, I could do via web, have web communications with them. And once that is established, and also once I can exceed my current salary with that job, then I'll move there. So
okay.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't think about it in detail, and like even like just thinking about the whole prophecy thing. Like a lot of people think that When if you Messianic, you think that Yeshua or Yahweh Shah, whatever you subscribe to, is coming back, and you're gonna be set back in your own land. But we forget to think about, like, when you get to your own land, are you gonna be homeless? How you gonna eat? Like, and these are things that we don't even consider. Like, if you ask 100 Hebrew Israelites what you're gonna do in the kingdom, they have no clue. The majority have no clue. You may have one or two brothers or sisters that's enlightened and say, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a producer." You know what I'm saying? They get it. But the majority of people, they just waiting on some type of savior that's gonna come, and then they're gonna have unlimited food supply, unlimited resources. That's not gonna happen, and that's my issue with that. A lot of messianics don't think it out. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're not thinking about the actual, what the prophecy actually would mean in relative terms. You have no skills. You're gonna be going to a desolate place. There's nobody that you can work for. There's no master ain't there no more. You see what I'm saying? You have nobody you can say, "Hey, you can give me a job too." It's gonna be you. And we gotta learn how to produce. We gotta learn how to live off the earth. We gotta learn how to work the land. We gotta learn, how to produce clothing, how to dig wells and mine for gold. We got to learn these skills to be successful. Like, and we're so stuck on reading Bible verses that we're not learning skills that is going to be necessary for your own survival in that land.
All right, I have two responses for that too. First, I'm going to affirm what you said. It is important to learn different skills and whatnot to be able to attribute it to the society. But I'm going to argue with you on one point, and I'm going to read Bible verses to do so, unfortunately. But check this out. This is Isaiah, man. This is Isaiah 61. And it says, "And they shall build the old ways, and they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities and the desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But ye shall be named priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves." So now we come over to Romans chapter 15 and verse 25.
Okay.
And it says, this is Paul talking, of course. He says, "But now I go to Jerusalem to minister unto the saints, for it hath pleased them of Macedonia and Achaia to make certain contribution for the poor saints which are at Jerusalem. For it pleased them verily, for it pleased them verily, and their debtors they are. For if the Gentiles have been made partakers of their spiritual things, it is their duty also to minister unto them in carnal things." So this is the issue with the Hebrew Israelite community, especially the Messianics and whatnot, who say they believe in Christ, because they hate the Gentiles with a passion. But all throughout the Old Testament, God says, hey, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 60, Isaiah 61, all throughout the New Testament, God is saying, hey, these Gentiles, they're going to bring you home. They're going to give you riches. They're going to take their trees. They're going to bring it to the land. They're going to plant their trees in your land. They're going to bring their gold and silver. They're going to bring their camels. They are going to beautify the name of the Lord. But we Hebrew Israelites, we hate the Gentiles with such a passion because there's a darkness on our heart, a deep-seated hatred, an unwarranted deep-seated hatred. There's such a darkness on our heart that we are literally denying the salvation that God said he set up for us. That's why in the Old Testament, he says, "I am Yahuwah, thy God. I give thee power to get wealth."
Yeah. And like, I fully agree. Like, for me, that script that you read out of Isaiah, actually, it hits home to, it actually connects back to what I was saying, because it says that we are supposed to be the suppliers of goods and services to the Gentiles. Now, I add the term goods and services, of course, but that's how we're going to get our riches, is by being producers, producing our own. Because you gotta look at everything. Look at life in general. Like, everything that you can think is a great invention has come from a black person, quote unquote, a Hebrew Israelite. And these things are being mass produced and being sold by Gentiles. Now imagine if we had the shoe on the other foot and we were the producers, we were the tillers of the land, we were the people who actually were the bankers again. then we would have this kingdom that's given to us by our own actions, and then we would lift Yahuwah up as the head of the kingdom in our theocracy. And it goes back to the exact same thing. Like, hey, we need to go back, be able to work the land, be able to produce clothing, be able to mine food, go be hunters, be gatherers, be whatever you want to be, but be something that's going to produce money that you can sell to other people. And I'm not trying to make this an economic conversation. I'm just saying that in heaven, or in heaven on earth, whatever you want to call it, somebody gotta have a stove. You know what I'm saying? And the people who have that stove is gonna be the people who are in the position of power. The people who come to that stove are gonna be just as powerless as you are right now in America. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Abishai, you're. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna answer that real quick, and then ask your question. Don't lose your question because I want to know what you were
Okay.
about to ask. But what's that?
Some random person called me. I hate that. Like, why? Like, I don't know you.
Yeah, dude.
That's weird.
But so in response to that, this is what I'm going to pose to you. He said you're going to be ministers unto our God, right? So if we're ministers unto God, that means we're not serving these people. We are serving these people, but we're serving them in a different way. So instead of being, producers of these things, mining gold and all that to give to them, but taking their money, what I'm suggesting the Bible is saying is that we're going to, what you see the church is doing in the black community, we're going to do that to the world. We're ministers for our God, and he says you're going to bring us the Gentiles are going to bring us their silver and gold. The Gentiles are going to bring us their trees, their camels, their incense, everything they're going to bring to us, and we're going to minister God. We're going to set up as priests. So what we see inside the black church, inside the white Christian church, inside of all these churches and whatnot, how they're sitting up there teaching the Bible, and people are bringing them money and throwing it at their feet. That's what we're going to do, except it's going to be on a grander scale, and it's not going to be from an unrighteous standpoint, because what's described inside the Bible is a theocratic communist society. It says that we're pretty much going to rule the entire world, and we're going to do it via a theocratic communist society. So all the world, all the Gentiles, they're going to bring all their money to us. It says, bring the gold and silver that we may put it in the storehouse of the Lord. So we're going to have a singular kind of like bank, I guess you would say, but not really a bank, but like a treasury. That's the word. And we're going to have a treasury for all of the world's riches, and we're going to disperse it as we feel necessary. And to solidify that with the Bible, I'm going to read it from Acts 4:31. It says, and when they had prayed, the place was shaken where they were assembled together, and they were filled with the Holy Ghost and spake the word of God with boldness. And the multitude of them believed, were of one heart and one soul. Neither said any of them aught the things which they possessed was his own, but they had all things in common. And with great power the apostles gave witness of the resurrection of the Lord Jesus, and great graces upon them all. Neither was there any among them that lacked. For as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them, and brought the prices of the things that were sold, and laid them down at the apostles' feet. And distribution was made unto every man according as he had need. So this is what God's been trying to set up from the very beginning, but we're stuck in a not a communist, but a capitalist mentality, because we're over here in the West and we make money like our God. Money is our God. Just like bless you, or God bless you. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Are you coughing or sneezing? But we make money our God. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. That's where our mentality is, and it's a very flawed mentality, and that's why the Messiah actually came. When you sit down and read his teachings and whatnot, he's trying to tell you, stop following after Babylon. I said this on another dialogue. The Messiah, when he came, he didn't say anything about the Romans. He didn't turn to them and say a single word to them. He turned to the Jews and was like, you're complaining about your slavery, but you keep following after these people. You must like being here. You must like their culture. You complain about their culture, but you seem to love it. Stop following after these people. Stop doing what they do, and you will be free. It's that simple. He came to set up a theocratic communist society. And notice over here in the West with capitalism, they demonize communism. They make it seem like communism came from the devil itself. That's because they know once we set up our society the way it's supposed to be set up, everything they set up falls. That's why it says, in Daniel's book, how the stone, it came down and smote the statue upon its hill and became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. It's literally talking about our society dismantling everything that they set up with their capitalist way of society. Just like in Revelations, how it talks about the mark of the beast, how no man shall buy or sell without the mark of the beast. How are you going to buy and sell in a communist society that doesn't use money? We shut them down. Screw your paper money with these people's faces printed on it. I don't care about what you think is important. That's how we shut them down. Screw your society.
So, so the guy you're friends with, Nasha, he's like doing that right now, right?
Yeah, totally.
And there's some Caucasian Hebrew Israelites. They call themselves Hebrew Israelites who are up in the mountains right now doing the same thing. So, but here's the issue. And so people, they get mad at him all the time. I don't get mad. I think like we all need to, disengage at a certain point. But they get mad at him. They're like, yeah, but you're getting money from people who are working. I mean, like, is that the route that you're trying to take?
So the route that I'm trying to take, the reason why he's getting money from people who are working is because those people haven't yet had the faith to step out. And even me, myself, I haven't had the faith to step out and completely do everything that he's saying, but I have pulled away from working inside of their society and their economy and building up. I don't celebrate their holidays, so I'm not putting money back into their economy, or at least I'm putting as little as possible back into their economy. But what I'm trying to set up is everybody contributes their money. They come live with us. I'm talking about the Gentiles living with us, by the way. We set up as priests, as preachers, I guess you would say, bishops, deacons, whatever you want to call it. The Israelites are going to set up as priests. The Gentiles are going to come live with us. They're going to work our fields, just like I said. They shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. They're going to work our fields. And all of their money, they're going to give unto us, and we're going to put it inside our treasury. And we're literally going to use it to support everybody, not just ourselves, but to support the Gentiles that are living with us. Now, within our own community, nobody charges for anything.
Right. Well, those are two different views. One being producers, but I think we still do need to be producers, and I do think this movement does support being entrepreneurs in finding out ways to gain multiple streams of income, which I need to do. So, yeah. I think both. I mean, like for the time being, we definitely should be on an entrepreneurial road because we do have to know how to manage the money, manage the things that are supposedly going to be laid at our feet. So.
I definitely agree with that. The person that I would more so like relate what I'm trying to do to is even though I say this all the time, there's been some stuff said about him, so I don't want to like send people over in this direction. But you know who Pastor Dal is? You know how he's got his own land, they got their own crops and whatnot, and they basically don't deal with society.
Yeah.
There you go. We worried about sending our kids to school, and the school's teaching our kids about homosexuality and all this stuff. Right. Pull out of their society. Problem solved.
Yeah. True. I think a lot of us are bye Kyle. I think a lot of I lost my train of thought. I think a lot of us are just, stuck in the system trying to fix the system, rather than pull away from the system. And I think that's why we're missing a lot of time because we're not going to get fixed because, unless we are controlling the system, it's never going to be a system that's good for everybody,
I 100% agree. That's why it says in Jeremiah, if she could be saved, we would have saved her, but she can't be saved. So flee from Babylon.
Right. I don't know. That was the plan. That was the plan for us. Like we were going to leave America, we was gonna, have our whole society, but things went left, and so I wound up buying a house here. So now, like, all committed and stuff, but you know,
Mhm.
we'll see.
I
Mhm.
definitely, I definitely say choose your partners that you plan to do this with carefully, because not everybody has a genuine heart.
Yeah, yeah, and there have been people who have actually gotten into it, you know, and perhaps it was because they weren't very organized in what they were doing, and the communication was poor, and so they got into it because I know that brother Yahoo and his wife Deborah, they have some land in Kentucky, and people win, and they were like, oh, it's not set up right, and all sort of stuff, and then they had issues, and I was like, man, you know um it just doesn't seem promising when people do that. So, but hopefully whatever issues that were, they have been corrected. But now
Hmm.
your trust level is depleted. So that's the
Hmm.
issue. Yeah. I'm trying to wait for Larry to get up on here. He has to wait till the kids go to sleep. He's like, the kids gotta go to sleep first.
Is Larry your husband or something?
No, Larry is what is he? Um he's my friend. I met him through the other page. And so we FaceTime all the time.
Okay, okay, nice, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, my baby's not here. She's in Houston. She'll be all up in the video. Hi, Sheeka. Sheeka. She will not call me mommy. She calls me Sheeka. I'm like, okay.
What's she in Houston for? Is she celebrating the day or what?
No, I mean my baby's too. She doesn't really celebrate anything, but my sister wanted her for some over the break. So
Okay.
mm, my nieces and them, they celebrate. So they got up early and opened their gifts, and she was still sleeping. So she doesn't know what's going on.
Hmm.
Mm.
So just to be clear, what's your like stance on Christmas and everything? Do you think it's wrong to celebrate it, or you just personally choose not to?
I just don't. Even when I was a Christian, I didn't really celebrate it. I
Okay.
never had my own Christmas tree or tinsel or anything. I just, like Christmas, especially like when you're somebody who's like very involved in the church, and I was very involved. I used to go to OCBF, so I would be at church every Sunday, and then I taught in the church on Wednesdays. And I mean, like, that's where my whole life kind of revolved. So when it came time for Christmas and Easter and stuff, I'd be like, okay, let the people have it. Because, it'd be packed and stuff. So I would never even really go. I wouldn't even go to church on Christmas, Easter, anything. So I really have not celebrated it for a long time. But if people celebrate it, I mean, that's them. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. I don't sit up there and be like, you shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. Like I feel like you lead better with through your own righteousness. You don't celebrate the day. Don't be looking for no gifts from me because I ain't getting nobody no gifts. Don't be putting no decorations on my desk. No, I'm good. Um, but I just ask for people to respect my space. When they ask me why, then I'm able to tell them why I don't celebrate it, and they can look it up if they want to. But last year we had Passover at home, and it was my family. My family came over, and so they were able, just by us doing Passover, they were able to see. Um, they were able to see how the church has taken things and kind of twisted them, Um,
Hmm.
and after Passover, they was like, "Oh, I can't wait. We can't wait for Passover next year." So I was like, "Okay." So I don't do the long speeches anymore. And when I first, um, got into the Israelite thing, I was like, repent. God, Christmas is a lie. um, but now I just don't even unless, like last night I went to the store and I met this guy and I just like knew, like I could just see, I just knew. And so he started talking to me about God like instantly, And I was like, wow, okay, So I kind of like am gravitating towards people who have some, information, probably need some more, So
Hmm.
yeah.
So you see it as something that's not good for you. You said you even didn't even do it back when you were like going to the Christian church and everything, but you don't necessarily see it as like, I guess, as the Hebrew Israelite community would say, wickedness that's going to take you to hell and all that.
I mean, everybody knows, Yah knows the intent and heart of a person, and um, as we walk every day, we don't know what the end is going to be for that person or what they're going to believe on their last day here on earth. It's a process. It's an actual process called sanctification. So I try not to make judgments about it. Do I think that it honors the Most High? Absolutely not. I think it's a dishonor. You can't honor somebody who's the truth with a lie, People are like, well, in my heart. And I'm like, yeah, well, in your heart, you should be about the truth, So, but I don't think like, oh, you're going to hell. I don't pass those judgments. I just, pray that their eyes are open and that their heart, is led to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be one of those overbearing, people.
Fair answer. And I basically agree with you for the most part. I wouldn't necessarily say they're going to hell or anything like that either, but it's not something that I personally would do. And just simply more so about the connotations that are held behind Christmas and whatnot. Because I understand. I actually want to get into a conversation about that, like where the traditions come from. But I understand where the traditions come from. I just don't. I understand that today they're taken out of the context of which they were like first put into. But before we move forward, what was that question that you had for me that you wanted to ask?
No, I asked it. It was about Nashai because I know that you like prayed for him, and I was like, how did you feel about that?
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure if you know, but me and Nashai do have our differences. The reason why I like boast Nashai and everything and whatnot is because I feel like he's the furthest along in his faith. Like out of everybody that I see, he's actually like walking out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I like him too. I'm like, look, he is for real.
Exactly.
Yeah, he ain't playing. He's like, but see, the only issue is that when you have a child, uh, that could be bad. I mean, but all they really have to do is register that they're doing homeschool, And I know that's like making yourself a part of society, but when kids are unaccounted for, those people can come in your life. So.
I definitely agree with that too. Sometimes you do have to like I don't want to say bow the neck, but kind of yield to what Babylon's doing or whatnot, because they're going to make it complicated. And even the Messiah talked about that. He's like, agree right away with your adversary, unless they take you to the judge and the judge deliver you to him the bailiff and he throws you in jail and stuff like that. So sometimes just kind of like it's good to bite the bullet sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, but that is what I like about him. Like you see him and he's like, this is real deal. And I'm not not playing, and you shouldn't be playing either. So I don't know.
Yeah. But on these tradition things, where do you think Christmas comes from? Like, what's your stance on that?
I mean, I think it's a mixture of festivals and stuff that they had already established. Some say Saturnalia, um, and all that, and they just, they wanted to Christianize everything, and so that was their poor attempt of Christianizing what they were already doing. And I'm like, is that bad or is that good? And I'm like, it's bad when you're not doing the truth. When you're not telling the truth. And people doing stuff like mistletoe and the Yule log, not knowing, where it really. There go my sister's calling. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to call her back. And you have people doing these things thinking that they're really honoring God. Oh, God.
You wanna
call you
back
back?
up?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call back in a minute. Something's probably going on with my daughter.
Alrighty.
But yeah, that's what it is. I think you just have to be truthful with it. You can't be like, oh, we're just gonna make this Christmas. Like we're just gonna put the Christ in Christmas. Like, so under what authority do you have to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's authority that the church says that they have. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, do your thing.
Hello. Hi. I'm on live. I'm on live, y'all. Can I call y'all back? Yeah, I'm on a live right now, like on Google Hangouts. I'm gonna call y'all right back. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry about that.
No, you're totally good. I understand.
Yeah. So that's my stance on it. I just feel like tell people the truth, let people know what they're doing, and let them make an informed decision.
There you go. 100% agree with that statement.
This artist will be in the DFW March 26th. Oh, Lita was in the chat. Hey, Lita. And Margie in the chat. Margie, I gave you the link. You should have been up in here.
Talking about a leader for Christ?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What's up, sis?
They're having a whole conversation. I miss it. I don't know why I didn't look. Margie, get on here. Margie be acting. She be playing shy guy.
I actually think I just had my first run-in with her. Is her name like Margie McGee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I just had my first conversation with her not too long ago.
Oh, really? She's like a bit of a historian. So she's like, what is this? And she used to post stuff on the other page. And I'll be like, Margie, where are you getting this from? I did a show with her, and she was bringing out all these artifacts and stuff. It was pretty interesting.
She's a historian by profession, or just like a personal thing she does?
It's a personal thing she does.
Okay.
But she finds stuff from everywhere. And I'm like, she's saying, hey, no, come on here, Margie, right now. She's not gonna let me bully her. I'm gonna have to cook something in a minute. But... All right, advertisers. Margie is not coming on. You have a dog?
Yeah, as I was like muting myself earlier because he's out there having a hissy fit.
Aww, what type of dog you got?
I have 2 schnauzers, and then I have a husky shepherd mix.
Oh, I grew up with a schnauzer. His name was Soka. He was so cute. I have a min pin right now. They're mean. Min pins are mean.
What's a mempim?
It's a miniature pincher. They look like Dobermans, but they're like toy. They're in a toy category, so people be scared when they see it because they think she's a Doberman, but she's not. She's so cute. She's cute, but she's mean. She will bite you.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm like, look, don't be going around my dog. She's gonna bite you. Yeah. And then my sister has this. I don't even know what she is. Her name is Juve. She's so cute. She's a big old lug. But like I'll be walking her around my house, like, see this big old dog? She'll bite you. But she ain't about nothing. But she just looks big. So
Intimidation factor.
They be robbing people. Like, ugh. She loves my backyard though. I have this big backyard for no reason. No reason. I'm like, I don't even go in the backyard. Why do I have this big backyard? So I guess I'm gonna have to start barbecuing or something. Have family functions or something. I gotta do something with that backyard.
That's what I've been telling my mom. Same thing, over here at her house. It's just like a huge back. I think it's just Texas in general, because I've never seen yards like this until I came to Texas. But it's like I need to put something back there for a bit of a patio or a garden, or do something to kind of take up space, because it's just there for no reason.
I'm gonna do a garden. And I'm gonna replace this tree I got back there with an avocado tree. For my own food. I'm tired of paying money for things I buy a lot of, like onions and bell peppers and stuff like that. But I was gonna do a pool, but the lady, like, when I closed, she was like, "Oh, if you do a pool, you're gonna have to redo this diagram of my land." And I'm like, "Huh? I'll just get a hot tub." I ain't gonna go through all that. And then where my fence is like 2 feet inside my property. So she was like, if they ever build there, you're gonna have to like put something up and say my land, or else they could take it. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
Like, if you have a fence, right, and it's not on your property line. So mine's is like 2 feet in. So it's just like 2 feet of my land. It's there. If they ever try to develop back there and I don't have anything that says, hey, this is my land, they can take it from me. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, law. I was like, huh? But it's like, getting back there. I ain't getting back there. I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard that. That's a new thing for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him back there. Like, you go back there. Get some bug spray.
How's he doing, by the way? Is he feeling better?
No. We're still working on stuff, so we'll see.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty then, since Margie's being mean to us and not coming on and allowing us to grill her about all her historical information, I'm gonna go get something to eat and call my baby back. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had more luck today because last night all of you people were asleep.
I mean, hey man, you're the only one that likes to be up at those hours, apparently.
I don't sleep well. I don't know what is wrong with me. Maybe I should have took some magnesium. I could not. Well, I slept all day. That's what it is. I woke up early in the morning to get my baby's stuff together, and then I just slept all day like I've never slept before. And then I woke up and I was like, "Hey, I'm up. Wait." Wake up. So, there it is.
Mhm.
All right, Abishai. Okay, so like we're gonna start working on our Hebrew meetup for next year. So we can get all the people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area together. I know about 2 congregations, but there's a lot of people still out there who've never even met another Israelite, which is weird. Like, I mean, so hopefully we can get that going and get offline and get in the streets.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. All right. Well, you have a good day, brother.
You as well, sister, and thank you for having me on your show once again.
No problem. No problem. I hope anybody out there who's like wondering what to do with the day, I'm glad you hung out with us and listened to our conversation. So, all right. You have a good day, sir.
You too, sister. Peace and God bless.
Mm-hmm. Shalom.
Shalom.